On today's show, I'll recap the U.S. women's national team win back-to-back World Cup titles. U.S. men's national team falls short at the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And I'm taking a dive into today's Hawaii headlines. My name is Jaime Padilla, and this is the Jaime Padilla Show. Welcome back to the show, y'all. Again, I'm your host, Jaime Padilla. Summer is almost over. Just finished up with the American Youth Soccer Organization's national games that took place 2 weeks ago here on Oahu, where 170 teams from across the country came to showcase their skills on the pitch. I had the pleasure of refereeing 7 games in 4 days, and I'd like to take a moment to give a shout out to California teams Cypress, La Habra, La Quinta, Indio, Chino Hills, Florida teams out of Weston, and a Tennessee team from Knoxville. I'm honored to have shared this amazing national tournament experience with those teams, and I wish them all nothing but the best as they move forward in soccer and in life. It is outrageously hot outside. Please make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and be sure to visit my friends down at Rio Gastropub. Happy hour is from 2 to 6 p.m. daily. They're $1 off all beers on draft, $6 call drinks, $8 wine by the glass, and happy hour food menu has your favorite poo-poos, the seared ahi tataki, maple chipotle pepper glazed bacon, French onion hummus, and wash it all back with a bent tail IPA. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Rio Gastropub offers validated parking as well. Visit them at 506 Keawe Street in Kaka'ako, and also visit their website, realgastropub.com. That's REALGASTROPUB.com. All right, y'all. So moving into the women's national team, I've got some very exciting to watch the women win their 4th World Cup title against the Netherlands. So some quick notes here for you. This is the 3rd World Cup in which the U.S. women's national team has never trailed throughout the tournament. This feat has also been achieved in 1991 and in 2015. The U.S. is unbeaten in its last 17 Women's World Cup matches, winning the last 12 in a row. They are the only team to win 12 consecutive Women's World Cup matches. Excuse me. And then they are also 7-1-0 all-time against the Netherlands. Megan Rapinoe is only the 2nd player to start 3 Women's World Cup finals. The victory is also the 102nd of Jill Ellis's career at the helm of the U.S. women's national team. And to go over some individual awards from the tournament, again, Rapinoe was awarded the Golden Ball as the tournament's best player. Rose Lavelle received the Bronze Ball. Rapinoe also won the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer, and Alex Morgan won the Silver Boot. The women's U.S. national team was the highest scoring team in tournament history after claiming its 4th World Cup title. So just some quick notes about this particular Women's World Cup. There was a big controversy, in regards to celebrations. A lot of those critics, commentators, those soccer pundits on Fox Soccer tonight, they kind of felt that, the women's kind of was a little distasteful in their celebrations. Megan Rapinoe had, they felt overly celebrated after scoring against Thailand, and Alex Morgan with her little teacup celebration. Guys, this is soccer, okay? And a lot of you need to understand that this is the pinnacle. This is the highest level of soccer for these women, okay? This is, to kind of to conceptualize it and put it in perspective, this is their Super Bowl. This is their Daytona 500. This is their Stanley Cup Finals. This is the national championship game. To kind of put that in perspective for you all. So, and on average, there's 1.4 goals that are scored in a soccer game. Don't like the celebrations? Maybe your defense should be better. Okay, that's the bottom line. Coaches coaches coach you to score, and put balls in the back of the net, and they also coach you on how to defend, so don't like it, defend better. Plain, my honest opinion anyway. And then lastly, about the Women's World Cup, I was overhearing Michael Knowles from the Daily Wire. He made a statement regarding how soccer is anti-American. And, I tend to agree with Michael Knowles 90% of the time. This is probably the part of that 10% where I just don't strongly disagree with him, actually. As a soccer referee, I see soccer, especially now, has grown in popularity here in America. And man, people like myself are just waiting for the U.S. men's team to finally break through the same way the women's national team has. But it's just, I see where he's coming from in a way, I guess, that, you have activists like Megan Rapinoe and, and they're, saying the things that they say, and they won't go see the president, if he invites them to the White House, or, and just, the silly chants that you hear from people out the Americans that were in France. And, I think it's bad to generalize, those people that, that don't, that are angry with America, those liberals that don't, progressives that hate America, and I don't necessarily agree with Megan Rapinoe, but, at the end of the day, she's a soccer player. Her job is to kick soccer balls into a net. So, and, is it distasteful to hear, someone who's representing a country talk bad about their country, or, yeah, I guess it could be. She's probably not the best platform or appropriate platform. Debatable. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm still proud of her. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of those girls for making it out there. They took on the world, and, they brought us a fourth star. So to say that soccer as a sport is anti-American, that's Michael Knowles. I would highly recommend that you go down to Cal South, because I know you guys are out there in Southern California, and take some referee classes, man. Get certified as a referee, and see what it's really like, and see how many Americans actually love and enjoy soccer. Just my 2 cents, man. Don't listen to me. I'm just the Puerto Rican guy from living in Honolulu. Anyway, moving on to the U.S. men's national team. Man, really, really disappointing match. I felt that the men's team had, they won the games that they needed to win. And the biggest challenge that I felt they had was Jamaica, but they were able to handle Jamaica in the semifinals 3-1. But the biggest thing for me was, in the 47th minute of that match, it was nothing. It was 0-0. And number 18 from Mexico, Guardado, actually goes up and grabs Weston McKennie's throat right in front of the referee. And the referee doesn't issue a red card. Again, at the time, it was 0-0. Had the referee issued a red card, Guardado would have been sent off. Mexico would have played a man down, and that would have possibly completely changed the outcome of the game. If Mexico would have won 0-0, woulda, coulda, shoulda. It would have, there would have been whatever, not moot point. But as a soccer referee, again, it's disheartening when you see clear and obvious fouls, especially when it's right there in front of the referee. And in this particular case, there was no VAR. There was no video assistant referee for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And again, going back to the Women's World Cup, the Women's World Cup took a lot of flack, where at times VAR, the discussion of VAR, took over the actual gameplay of the Women's World Cup. So in this particular case, I think we all could see how VAR definitely benefits and being able to make the right calls. At the end of the day, that's what I want to see. Is I want to see the best calls being made in that moment. And if you have the benefit of technology and VAR at that level, why aren't you using it? Just saying. So to go over some of the notes, Kristen Pulisic won the tournament's Best Young Player award. Pulisic, Michael Bradley, and Aaron Long were all named to the tournament's Best 11. Michael Bradley joined Kobe Jones and Landon Donovan as the third U.S. men's player to reach the 150 cap milestone. And the next match for the U.S. men's national team is going to be on September 6th, and that's going to be at MetLife Stadium. Whoa. So, diving in to the headlines today. Looking here from a reporter and editor out of Civil Beat, Chad Blair, in his most recent House votes to condemn Trump over racist comments. The U.S. House of Representatives on Tuesday approved a resolution condemning President Trump's recent tweets targeting 4 minority congresswomen. The 240 to 187 vote fell largely along partisan lines as GOP leaders had rushed to the president's defense in whipping against the measure, The Hill reported. Just 4 Republicans broke with party ranks to join every voting Democrat, revealing the extent to which Trump's incendiary remarks had jarred Capitol Hill and forced even some of his closest allies to denounce his behavior. 6 Republicans missed the vote. Representative Tulsi Gabbard and Ed Case of Hawaii, both Democrats, obviously, voted with their majority party. Earlier in the day, Gabbard told ABC News, stoking these racist feelings and stoking religious bigotry in this country, tearing apart an already divided country for his own political game is beneath the office of the presidency and undermines the very values and principles of our democracy. Over the weekend, Trump told the 4 congresswomen, Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Ayanna Pressley, to go back to the places from which they came. 3 were born in the U.S., and Omar immigrated from Somalia as a teenager. The president has not apologized for his remarks. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Trump is not a racist. It's all politics. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said at a press conference Tuesday morning, according to the Hill's report. Whoa, Chad Blair. I'm just going to go straight to this clip here so we can actually hear what the president actually stated in his when he was at the White House.
Happy. I'm watching them. All they do is complain. So all I'm saying is if they want to leave, they can leave, John. They can leave. I mean, I look at Omar. I don't know. I never met her. I hear the way she talks about Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda has killed many Americans. She said you can hold your chest out. You can, when I think of America, when I think of Al-Qaeda, I can hold my chest out. When she talked about the World Trade Center being knocked down, some people, you remember the famous some people. These are people that, in my opinion, hate our country. Now, you can say what you want, but get a list of all of the statements they've made. And all I'm saying that if they're not happy here, they can leave. They can leave, and you know.
If they are not happy here, they can leave. If they are not happy here, they can leave. I don't think I heard go back to the places from which they came, Chad Blair. This is the objective journalism that you get out of Honolulu Civil Beat. Kind of taking things out of context a whole lot of bit, but let's continue on.
You know what? I'm sure that there'll be many people that won't miss them. But they have to love our.
See, and just to give you all some context here, because you hear there's a heckler in the clip saying, "But they're American citizens, President Trump." Again, he did not say go back to which you came. He did not assert that they should go back to whatever country they came from, because I mean I think we all know that 3 of those 4 representatives are U.S. citizens, and the president goes on and talks about that further.
A country, they're Congress people, and I never used any names. But
okay
these are people. Quiet.
And then, and there goes, I'm not sure if it's the same journalist or, or whatever, the same heckler, trying to assert that, well, your tweets are racist, Mr. President, your tweets are racist. Another page out of the Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. You just kind of we all know that progressives like to wildly throw out racism, racist, and then the president or any other person, when you're called a racist, will then begin to kind of start backpedaling and being on the defensive. So kudos to the president for ignoring those ridiculous comments and sticking to the point.
Quiet.
Your tweets are racist, sir.
Quiet. These are people that if they don't like it here, they can leave. And I don't know who's going to miss them, but I guess some people will. One of them is polling at 8%. One of them is polling at 8%. So when I hear people speaking about how wonderful Al-Qaeda is, when I hear people talking about some people with the World Trade Center, some people, no, not some people, much more than some people. When I hear the statements that they've made, and in one case you have somebody that comes from Somalia, which is a failed government, a failed state, who left Somalia, who ultimately came here, and now is a congresswoman who's never happy, says horrible things about Israel, hates Jews. It's very simple. And if the Democrats want to wrap their bows around this group of 4 people, one of them kept Amazon out of New York. They're socialists, definitely. As to whether or not they're communists, I would think they might be. But this isn't what our country is about. Nevertheless, they're free to leave if they want.
Free to leave if they want, Chad Blair. Well done. Well done. Well, that's it for me here on the Jaime Padilla Show. Please like, follow, comment, share. Share it to all your friends. Share it to the people that you hate. Please also, you can find me on Twitter at iCerebro. You can also find me on Facebook, Jaime Rene Padilla. And again, this is the Jaime Padilla Show, fastest growing conservative podcast on Facebook.